Hello, welcome to yet another lecture on development of surfaces. Today we are going to see one problem in which a cone is given and we want to draw the development of lateral surface of the cone. So this is the cone. If you see this cone in from front, then it will look like a triangle. So this way it looks like a triangle, and when you see it from top it looks like a circle. Okay, so this is the perfect top view and this is the perfect front view. Okay, in the top view this base circle is divided into 8 parts. Okay, 1 2 3 like that, it is divided into 8 parts, and you can see here that these red lines, okay, these red lines you can see are the generators on the cone. These red lines are generators on the cone. We want to develop the lateral surface of this thing. The development of a cone typically looks like part of a circle or sector of a circle. So let us try to draw the development. So this is the top view and front view of that cone, in which this 1 2 3 4 all these numbers are there on the base, whereas this O or apex is the name of the point or the apex which is above the base. This height is called as the straight height. The straight height of this particular cone is 65 and the diameter of this is given as equal to 50. Now we want to draw the development of this thing. To draw the development of this cone, this is the cutting plane. Okay. Yet another thing given here is that this is the cutting plane. It is cut like this. Okay. So when it is cut like this, how does it look like in the 3D? Let us try to visualize. Okay. So if you take this part and take it away, it looks like this. Now you can visualize here that this A point is on the, okay, this A point is on the edge O21. Likewise B point is there on the edge O22. Okay, generator O22. Then C will be there on this O23, like that. We are going to take the development in anti-clockwise direction. You can take it in clockwise direction also, no matter. Now if you look at it from this end, from front, this B and the H, that is the point which is there on O8, will be overlapping. Okay, these 2 points will be overlapping. That is why here this B and H point are shown at one place only. Similarly C and G are there. These are overlapping in front view. Okay, OC, the C point is there on O3, G point is there on O7, like that. Now to draw the development of this thing, you will have to find out the angle of the sector. We have seen in our lecture number 2 how the development of this particular cone looks like. It looks like a sector, and the formula for finding out the angle of that sector is theta is equal to 360 multiplied by r divided by s, where the r is the radius of the base circle, which is equal to 25. The diameter is 50, that is why the r will be equal to 25. Whereas the s is the slant height. It is not 65. 65 is the straight height given. Okay, this straight height is 65. whereas the slant height is more than this thing. So let us try to measure it. Okay, if you measure it like this, from this point to this point, this is coming 69.64, or let us say 70. Okay, so here we will have to draw an arc. Okay, the arc should be of 60 of this arc should be of, it should be of theta is equal to 360 multiplied by 25 divided by 69.64. So let us calculate it here. 360 multiplied by 25 divided by 69.64. Okay, so how much it is coming? It is coming equal to 129.23 degrees, or let us say 129 degrees. So I will draw the arc, okay, like this. For drawing this arc, first I will copy the line like this, then I will draw the arc. So this way we have drawn the arc. Okay, the arc should have radius equal to the slant height. So for that thing you draw a line parallel to this line, okay, some distance away, let us say 10 or 20 millimeter. Then from this point as center, draw the arc like this. Then keep the protractor here and mark the 129 degrees and join, and this way you will get the sector. So this is the development of the cone. This development of the cone is for the entire cone. When it is not cut, it should look like this, but actually what is happening here, it is cut. Okay, this particular is cut, and that is why there will be some changes in the developed portion here. So what changes will be there? For knowing these things, we will have to divide this 129 degrees angle into 8 equal parts. So I will divide this into 8 parts. Why 8 parts? Because we have divided this circle into 8 parts. So this circumference from 1, 2, 3 up to 1 again will be going here like this, and this will be divided into 8 parts. So this is now divided into 8 parts. To divide this into 8 parts, first divide this 129.23 by 8. So each will be of 16 degrees approximately. So here you can put the protractor like this way, and starting from 0 here, mark this angle of 16. Then take this distance in compass. Remember, you need not mark all the points, you just mark one point only, that is at 16 degrees. Then take this much distance in compass and then mark it 8 times. So you will eventually come to know that it ends here. In this particular point will match with the point 1 here. This O will match with the apex here. So here this will be the point number 2, 3 like that. So I will number these points. This way the points are numbered. This is point number 1, 2, 3 like that up to 8, and lastly there will be 1 point again. Why this 1 point is coming again? Because we are going to cut a piece of paper or sheet metal in this shape, and we are going to wind it. Okay, and when we wind it around the cone, this one and this one will match. That is why this 1 number point or starting point is coming here. You may start with this point or you may start with this point. You may go in anti-clockwise direction or you may go in clockwise direction. Both things are correct. Now the next thing is to mark the corresponding points, that is the point A on this O1, point number B and H on O2 and O8 respectively. So how to mark these points? Try to clearly understand one point. Once you understand one point, the remaining points are very similar, quite similar. So here I am zooming some part of it for clarity. So I am taking the projection now. Okay, so here this projection I am going to take from each point. From this A point I am taking the projection like this, and it is to be marked here. Okay, so this is the projection. Okay, then for the point number B and H, the projection is to be marked. That is, for all the points these projections are to be marked. So for all these points the projections are marked. I will remove the extensions. Okay. Okay, so this way all the points are taken on the slant edge. So the length of this line is equal to slant edge. Okay, so here we are now going to mark the arcs like this. Okay, the arcs should start from this point and go on the corresponding line. For example, when this B and H points are to be marked, we are going to take this distance from this O to this B, this distance in compass, and going to mark the arc up to 2 and up to 8 also. So let us try to draw it here. So now I am going to mark the arcs. Okay, so to mark the arcs, this is the center point I am taking. With this center and this radius, okay, with this radius I am going to mark the arc on these points. Okay, on the points. So this point is point number A. Similarly, this point is also point number A. Okay, A is coming 2 times. Why? That we have already talked about. Then let us mark the point B. To mark the point B, I am taking the arc like this. From this point, it is the arc is starting, and it should end here. So this point will be the point number B, and it will be there on H also, 8 also. That is why this point will be point number H. So I will name these points immediately. So here this point I am naming. This is the point number E. Okay. Then this is the point number B, and this is the point number H. I will name it. This is B, and here this is the point number H. Okay, so likewise all the points will be there. So how we have drawn this thing, please try to understand once again, because this is the key point. Once you understand one point, you can mark all the points. So here this B and H we wanted to mark. We have first taken it up to the slant height. Okay, so here we have taken it up to the slant height. Then we are going to take this distance from this point to this point. Okay, this distance we are going to take in compass, not O to B, which is seen in front view, which will be shorter. When it is coming on the slant edge, it is the true distance. That is why we are taking this distance from this point to this point, this distance in compass, and going to mark the arc like this. This arc should be marked on the O2 and O8. Okay, so similarly I will mark the points for C and G. For C, I will take this distance in compass and mark the arc up to 7. Okay, then for the next one, that is for the D point, I am taking this as the center. this point as the center and this as the distance, and marking the arc up to 6. Then lastly here I am marking the arc from this point. Okay, this distance I am taking in compass, O to E, this distance I am taking in compass and marking it up to point number, line number O to 5. Okay, so these lines should be construction lines. Okay, these lines should be construction lines, do not draw them too dark. Okay, then let us name the point. So quickly I will name these points, please be patient. So this way I have marked these points. Okay, how we have marked these points, once I will again repeat, because this is the key concept, that is only the most important thing where you are likely to make mistake. For example, suppose if you want to mark the arc for this point C and G, you should not take this distance from the front view. Okay, you should not take this distance from the front view. You should actually take it up to the slant height in the front view. So here you have to take it here. So you will have to take the distance. Which distance you have to take? For that thing I will show it here. From this point to this point, this distance is to be taken. Okay, or as these two lines are parallel, you can take this distance from this point to this point. This distance you can take in compass. For clarity, I will mark this distance. Okay, okay, this 39 it is showing. So whatever it is coming, you should not bother about it. You take this distance in compass, it is not equal to this distance. Again I am repeating, this is not straight distance, it is on the slant. It should be taken on slant and then it should be marked on the corresponding arc. This C and G are there on the 3 and 7. That is why this arc is marked on C as well as G. You need not mark all these arcs, you can mark just the arcs, small arcs here. Okay. So once you get all these points, you have to join all these points by smooth curve, not by straight line. Why? Though this cutting plane is straight, we are going to join them by smooth curve because the surface itself is curved. Remember, when the surface is curved, then we are going to join the points by smooth curve, even if the cutting plane is straight. If the cutting plane or the cutting edge is arc, then no question, you should be joined with smooth curve. So this time again we are going to join them with smooth curve. So I will join now. Here I am joining the points starting with A, then B, then C. So though this is appearing like a straight line here, I will have to convert it to curve because this is the AutoCAD. So there is one command by using which you can simply convert it to curve. So this way it is marked curve. Then the remaining portion again is to be marked, okay, which should join these points. So this way it is to be marked. Then this curves, okay, this curve I should make it dark. Okay, then this portion is removed, that is why these two lines should be made faint. Okay, so I will make this. Okay, then this portion of the line should be marked dark because this is part of the development. So this way this is the development. Okay, so if any doubt is there, you may ask now. Okay, so let us stop today. I will again ask you to draw this thing today only, because tomorrow or in the next theory class we are going to have one more problem of slight more complexity of the development of cone itself. So up till now we have seen the development of prism. Two problems we have seen. This is the first problem on development of cone. Before this we have seen the development of cylinder also. So today we shall stop here only. Thank you.